Hi, my name is Dr. Richard Brake, and I'm the headmaster here at St. Michael Academy. And first, I want to thank you for your interest in our school and our online learning initiative. We decided that during this closure of the schools that we would decide to kind of press on and continue our instruction, and we're doing that online. And so we decided that we would post some of these on the website and record just a kind of a teaser, kind of an introduction to some of these classes, so people would want to learn more about our school would have an opportunity to do kind of a virtual shadow day. So that's the reasoning behind this. And so again, thank you for your interest. And second, kind of talk to you about what the lecture is that we're going to be talking about today. Before that, though, just a few words about our school. We are a Catholic and classical school, and I think what that means is that in terms of the Catholic part, not only do we teach the truths of the Catholic faith, but we also do that in a very intentional way. And what that means is, I think, for the kids, is that the faith is not just kind of a sideline, but it's actually it's the focus and the integral part of our day. And so everything kind of points to the truth and the way and the life of Christ. And so that's really a big part of it. We like to say that we are not only a college prep school, but a heaven prep school. In terms of the classical piece, I could probably spend a lot of time on that, but I won't. Suffice it to say that we're a great book school that teach the kids the great pieces of literature, history, philosophy, theology of Western civilization. We like to say we take our kids on a trip through Athens, Rome, and Jerusalem by teaching them the true, the good, and the beautiful. So in a lot of ways, what we're doing is we're providing, the books that these kids read and the themes and the concepts that they're presented with are stuff that college kids do. I taught college for over 10 years, and I can attest that this is rigorous stuff. But we challenge the kids, and I think the kids not only appreciate it, but they're good. And they're just ordinary kids from northern Michigan, but they can do it, and I think it builds confidence for them. So that's the kind of school that we are. We teach Socratically. There's a discussion component to all of our classes, and so that's kind of how we do business. So this class in particular, this is American Civics, and so we're teaching the kids kind of how our governmental structure works. And boy, isn't that apropos for today's world. We're living during a crisis where the federal government, the state governments, the local governments, they're all being asked to do things. And so we almost have kind of a laboratory experiment about how our political system works and maybe how it ought to work. So we've been walking the kids through the Constitution. We spent a whole month on reading the Constitution, going almost line by line so the kids understand it. Separation of powers, checks and balances, federalism. And as I said, this has all been on display in the last couple of weeks with this pandemic. We've got the governor closing schools. We have the president declaring national emergencies. The Congress is passing over a $2 trillion stimulus package to provide relief for a lot of these businesses who really no fault of their own, but because of government intervention are forced to, and obviously for decent reasons, to close their doors. So that's the course that I'm teaching, and in particular, the lecture that you're going to be listening to talks about the presidency and what I like to call presidential authority. Kind of distinguishing that from power. Authority is kind of the soft ability to influence, to persuade. A lot of presidents today have awesome powers, more power than I think that they had, particularly in terms of staff and different departments and agencies of the federal government that they control. But do they have authority? Does the public listen to them? Do they have moral authority? All those questions get wrapped up into that. And one of the themes that you'll hear is that there's a real interesting connection between presidents and the fluctuating fortunes of party politics. I think we've had 42, 43 presidents in our history. And so there's a few of them that are considered great. And so there's all this literature about what makes a president great. Is it his skills? It is his charisma, his ability to speak, his ability to lead. This theme kind of talks about that it perhaps might be the times in which a president comes to the presidency, and does he have the ability to kind of work his will through the political system at a particular moment in time. And I think that particularly with the occupant we have in the White House today, there's some very interesting questions about whether will this crisis, for example, allow him the ability to lead, and we'll see how that goes. So that's the subject matter for the lecture. What we really want these kids to be able to understand after this course is the duties of citizenship. We don't live in an aristocracy. Our leaders aren't picked for us by birth. We have a meritocracy where we ask each generation to produce new leaders who can govern effectively and to protect our inalienable rights and to protect our freedom. And so that's a pretty heady responsibility. And we want our kids to understand how the system is supposed to work and the virtues and principles that undergird our system. So that's it in a nutshell. Hopefully that piques your interest and that you want to click on and learn a little bit more about the American presidency. So without further ado, thank you again for your interest in our school. If you want to learn more, go to www.stmichaelupnorth.org. There's information about how you can inquire about enrolling for our school, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.